Here's how we celebrated my fiance's 33rd birthday while traveling in Madrid, Spain. We started off the morning with couples massages at this place called Spazio Wellness. My fiance hadn't had a massage in years, and this one was amazing. If you're traveling to the area, I highly recommend, regardless of whether or not you're celebrating a birthday. Then we accidentally found ourselves in the El Rastro Vintage Market, but that was a happy coincidence, so we spent a little time just kind of peeking through some of the stalls and seeing if there was anything that caught our eye that we could maybe take home to decorate our home with when we get back to the States. Next up, it was time for lunch, and we took my fiance to his very first Michelin star restaurant, which was Mudra. This is a plant-based Michelin star restaurant based here in Madrid, and we absolutely loved this meal. My fiance and I are actually pescatarian, but to be honest, with all the meat in this country, sometimes it's easier to just go full plant-based, so we knew we wouldn't have to make any modifications to this menu. We started off with this appetizer of root vegetables with a demi-glaze. It was so good, and my fiance got a mushroom risotto with truffles on top, as you can see here. And then I got a pad thai that came covered in edible flowers. Overall, this meal was easily a 10 out of 10. And for Michelin star, it was surprisingly affordable. Then we headed off to what was probably the highlight of his day, which was the Museum of Video Games. This was so cool, even for me, who's not a big video game lover, because it was essentially the last 50 years of video games put into one museum activation. The cost to visit the museum was 22 euros to stay for 2 hours, and we stayed for the entire 2 hours. Not only is there a ton to learn about and a ton to read, but there's actually an arcade as well, so you can play games. Plus, all the games along the way are playable. You don't need any coins or quarters or anything like that, so you can kind of play as you take a walk down memory lane. We're both 90s babies, so we definitely don't have the total appreciation for like the old school Atari or anything like that, but we both agreed that we have a ton of respect for it, because without products like that, we wouldn't have all the video games that we have today. Then my fiance needed some time to flex his Guitar Hero skills. He actually didn't do that well, but don't tell him I told you so. After the museum, we headed to our last surprise of the day, where I surprised him with 5 hours of unlimited gaming at a video game lounge. Plus, I had set up so all of his friends were back home in the States ready to play online with him. So once we got set up at the video game cafe, all his friends logged on and they were able to play together for, like I said, about 5 hours, which was honestly a win-win. I ended up leaving him here so that he could just fully indulge and hang out with his friends, and I ended up going off, meeting up with my friends, and doing a little bit of shopping as well. All in all, though, he said this was one of his favorite birthdays yet. We ended the day with a little birthday celebration after some bowling and then some drinks with friends.